Good morning, everybody, and welcome into the locker room here on 97.3 ESPN. Billy Schweim in the house. Scotty McKay with me today, riding shotgun as always. And Scooter, we just got in from being out last night.
I still feel like I've got a shotgun to do. Still left at the bar.
What a night last night at the Margate Memorials, 74th annual Margate Memorials. Great race. Longport once again dominated. That Beach Patrol's phenomenal.
Let's not say dominate, but
they dominated.
No.
They
won by,
no one's going to stop them. Joey Tepper's an animal.
He is. That was the first time this year that I saw him swim, and I mean, it was like it wasn't a race. The race was for second place.
The race was for second place.
Really, I mean, it's like I remember watching Sid Cassidy when I first got on the patrol in the late 70s, and he did the same thing. Sid would crack a beer and be sitting on the beach before the second guy came in.
Yeah, right.
And Joey, if Joey drank, he could do the same thing.
He's only a senior in high school.
I know.
He's going to be a senior.
Going to be a senior. He's a stud, man.
Phenomenal night last night at the beach in Margate. If you haven't if the listeners, people in the car that have never had an opportunity to get down to these boat races, the lifeguard race, it's phenomenal. There had to be like 7,000 people on the beach last night.
It was crowded. It was a good crowd. And it was all the way down the beach.
It
wasn't
right.
just like all in the one area where we were at. We were right at the finish line for the swim. And it was long down the beach. Like, it wasn't deep, but it was there. Yeah, there was a ton of people. It was a good time.
So we didn't get a chance to watch the Phillies last night, but apparently we didn't miss anything. Did you watch it?
I saw the end of it.
I didn't.
Yeah.
Because I went home and then I carried on a little bit more.
Yeah, of course. But, yeah, that was... listen, I missed the part where they were making the decision to put a pitcher in the outfield and an outfielder in the pitcher. I mean, I guess they ran out of pitching, but how does he end up
you go
playing?
15
What
innings.
happened was Zach Eflin was on second base, and we put in Vince Velasquez to pinch run for him because he's more athletic. And with Rhys Hoskins up, but knowing we had no pitchers left after that. So it was a do-or-die situation. Rhys Hoskins either wins us the game or we're going to lose.
You know what always fascinates me? When the score's tied in baseball, and I can only speak for the Phillies because, like I said, I only pretty much watch just the Phillies and whoever they play. It seems to me that every time the Phillies get to the ninth inning and they're tied, they always exhaust everybody instead of like playing for the next inning. They try to win it right there in the ninth, and then once they have everybody in, or put all their big guns in, or make the pitching change for that inning, it seems like once they get past the 10th and 11th inning, that they have nothing left.
Well, that's your analytics coming into play.
I can't stand analytics. I'm done with it.
Yeah?
Because
Well, it works sometimes, obviously.
No, it doesn't work. It works. I mean,
My only argument is the Astros do it, the Yankees do it, the Dodgers do it.
Yankees do it because they have the players to do it. They buy players.
Right.
I mean, they have a roster to do it.
Well,
Phillies,
we bought players.
well, we have that roster, but it's just, I just think analytics is just messing the game up for me.
I think there needs to be a good mix. You can't live and die by it as a body.
You gotta manage with your sense. You know what I mean? Your gut feeling.
You gut feeling what you're doing, and listen, the scouts have been around for hundreds of years. I mean, they certainly have a job to do, and they know what they're doing. So you've got to rely on that. But there is odds and things do, but I don't like odds too much when it comes to sports.
I got a scenario for you, Billy, before I hop off these airwaves so you guys can get going. Vince Velasquez, the third time through the lineup, the opposing team hits .515. The first and second, he's hitting 192 and 194. Right. So when the third time around the lineup comes and he's dealing through 5 innings, what do? Because last game we kept him in, not using analytics, and he allowed a 2-run shot.
And there's where analytics can work.
Okay.
I mean, that's where I would like. For pitching, I don't have a problem with it. But for all the other stuff that goes on in baseball, I don't like analytics. Now that is a perfect example of analytics working for you. You know that the third time through a lineup, he's no good. You got to get him out.
Okay. I just wanted to get your opinion on it.
In that respect, I like it.
Okay.
But with all the other stuff,
it doesn't always work that way.
Well, you just heard the numbers.
Yeah, but it
You
doesn't.
just heard the numbers. It always works that way. He stinks. He stinks the third time through the lineup. They nail him.
No, that's just
What do you-
that's just
what do you
odds.
mean? What do you mean? No.
That's just odds.
Hunter, give me the.
You don't- you're
give me the
saying he
statistic.
could-
Wait, hold on.
he could
Scooter,
never
did you
have
hear
a
what,
third time
Did you hear
through
what
the
Hunter just say? Say it again, Hunter.
The first time through the lineup,
Listen to
they're
this,
hitting
dum-dum.
192. The
Right.
second time, 194. The third time, 515. That's an obnoxious jump.
He's still shrugging his shoulders.
Yeah.
What don't you get?
What do you mean? What don't I get?
Maybe that medicine that you're taking
That's a-
kicked in
so
your
so
head.
he's
like,
never had
duh.
he's never pitched well the third time through
He
ever.
stinks. He just read you the numbers.
Yeah, but the numbers could be skewed.
What? Do you,
He could be 10 in one game and he could be 2 in the other, and that equals out
Oh.
to 515. You know, I mean, it's not like it's a guarantee. You want a
Yeah.
guarantee? Go get a muffler. Come on, man. You can't. You're going to say, all right, listen. Well, then make him your long guy. Make him the 4-inning guy somewhere. You know.
well, you know what? If they want to really have analytics work for them, so pitch. So when you know you have Velasquez up, you know that he's only going to go 4 innings, and then you have somebody for 5 innings, 5, 6, and 7, and then you use the bullpen the rest of the way.
Well, see, because you didn't watch the game because you can't handle yourself. After he gets hit 515 against, he goes out in the field. He makes a better play than any left fielders made all season long. He comes running in, makes a diving play on a ball, and catches it to save the inning. You know?
Yeah, I didn't watch any of the game last night.
Yeah, apparently. Did you watch anything last night?
No.
No.
I
I
was,
saw you watching some stuff.
I was watching a lot of stuff other than sport.
Yeah.
Well, that is a sport.
Is it?
Well, isn't it?
Yeah. What's it
We're like
called?
this. Like, look at this. Look at that. Oh my God, look at this. Oh, I wish I was 22 again.
Right. She was saying, look at the grandfather sitting over there.
Hunter, don't get old.
Yeah.
Do not get old. It stinks getting old. Let me just tell you something. Do not get old.
You know what the weird thing is? You get older, but your mind and your eyes don't get any older.
No, you feel like you still feel like you're
a
young.
kid.
You feel like you're a kid,
Yeah. I felt
but
like,
you have enough sense to realize that you're not, and that you can't, go around acting like you're a kid.
look,
Right? You can't act like a kid.
yeah, when I lived with Proper and Scotty Mellenby,
Yeah, but you were a kid then.
well, let's see, that was I
What?
was 30.
You were a kid.
I was 30 when I lived with those guys, but Mellenby was like 18, and I never once felt like he
You were
was.
that much. Wait a minute. He was 18.
Yeah, he came in the league.
You're not
in
that much older
86.
than Scotty Mellenby.
Uh,
No way.
well, maybe he was 20. Maybe he was 20.
You're 10 years older than Scooter Mellenby.
Yeah, oh, yeah. That's see. Now there's my perfect example. I've always felt like we were like the same age. You know?
Well, Chiefs what? 50.
Oh, I'm
only-
11 years older than Chief.
But I didn't think Mellenby was. I thought he was young. I thought he was
He
older
was
than.
only-
He was older than
86.
Chief.
I think he just turned 50 not too long ago.
Nah, you got to be wrong about that. So finish your story. When you lived with them, what?
But I mean, like, I always felt like he and I were the same age. I never felt like he was
Well,
this
right,
much younger guy.
To be honest with you, I didn't. When I was hanging around the guys too, I didn't feel older than them. Matter of fact, I felt younger than them. I
Did
acted
you?
it. Yeah.
Well, you acted like you're 12.
Yeah.
That's not hard to do. But yeah, so he. Well, I'm gonna look. I'm
I'm
gonna
just
look
gonna
it up.
let you go both know.
Uh-oh.
Scott Mellenby and Craig Berube are almost the exact same age.
And I'm going to say 54.
53.
See that?
Three.
Berube's
Right.
birthday is December 17th, and Mellenby's birthday is June 11th.
June 11th.
So
Right.
Mellenby is a few months older than Berube.
Right.
So by the way, I'm in the parking lot the other night, and I get a phone call, and it's Chief, and he says, "I got to tell you, Scooter, he's a unique individual, that Craig Berube.
Ooh, you can say that again.
I can't.
I
I
have
cannot
a story
say
about him. Another one.
You tell me.
I'll tell you another one.
I cannot repeat some of the things that he says,
Oh, of
but
course.
dude, he's brutal, dude. He hates everybody. He's like, and I don't know if that's an act.
It's an act.
Is it an act?
Yeah, he's a good guy.
No, he's a
Loves
great. No,
everybody.
he's a great
He
guy.
really
Don't
is.
get me wrong. He's a great guy. We love Chief.
Yeah.
But he
He's
just when
different.
you talk to him, he's just like,
Yeah, he wants to be
Is that
that.
just his persona? I don't know.
Yeah,
he makes me laugh.
It's the way he acts. I got.
So wait. Let me just tell you a quick story. So I called him up, and I don't know if it was Wednesday or no. I texted him. I texted you after. I said, "Hey, Chiefs," because he told us he wasn't coming down.
Right.
So I call him up and I go. He answers the phone. He goes. He sees it's me calling, and he goes, "No,
Yeah.
absolutely not. Don't bother me. Leave me alone. I don't want to sign anything. I don't want to see anybody. I don't want to talk to anybody."
Right. He knew you
I
were
said like
asking
this.
for something.
I said, Chief. I said, I haven't even asked you anything yet. You're crying before you even hurt.
That's right. Well, because he's used to you always asking for something.
No, I'm not.
I did too. I recently asked him. I do a hockey camp in the summertime, and I said, if you're in the area, would you come up one day? Be nice to have the head coach.
Well, you were
stand
asking
up.
for a lot, though. You were asking
a
for
lot. He was doing a camp when I asked him that, so it wasn't like it was a big deal. But let me tell you a funny. There's two funny Chief stories, but
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's hold on to the Chief story.
Okay.
Because let's take a break because I've got a couple of funny Chief stories too. Because he was here, and he was here for a couple days, and so we'll break that down. Hey, the first out of the locker room is sponsored by Barb's Harley Davidson, Philly's closest, New Jersey's #1 Harley Davidson dealership. Visit barbshd.com today. The area's #1 seller of new and used Harley Davidsons around. That's barbshd.com. Where no one walks, go to barbshd.com today. And like I said, the used scooter, you go down there, they'll teach you how to ride a motorcycle.
I know how to ride a motorcycle.
You don't know how to ride a motorcycle.
Of course I do.
Hey, get your day started off the right way. With the best breakfast at the Jersey Shore, look no further than Uncle Bill's Pancake House. Family owned and operated since 1962, Uncle Bill's Pancake House is a Jersey Shore tradition with 8 locations from Ocean City to Cape May. Featuring 30 types of pancakes, waffles, crepes, Uncle Bill's has something for everyone. Stop in at one of their 2 Ocean City locations. Try my favorite, the stuffed French toast with homemade cinnamon butter to die for. There's something for everyone, from fresh cut fruit cup, gluten-free pancakes, or the fluffily stuffed omelets that are excellent. Can't go wrong with anything on the menu. Go to Uncle Bill's Pancake House, 8 locations along the Jersey Shore, with 2 in Ocean City. I guarantee you'll have a great breakfast and fantastic service with a smile. Hey, and if you're looking for a bicycle, go to Anarelli's Bicycles, located at 1014 Asbury Avenue in Ocean City. Owners Mark and Mike insist that after the sale, it's the service that counts, with a complete line of bike accessories and same-day repair service. That's Anarelli's Bicycle, 609-399-2238. I got my bicycle for my daughter there, bought her a bike, and anytime I need service, in and out, like a jiffy, on a jiffy.
Did you teach her how to ride it?
Yeah, she's riding it. She's learning.
All right.
All right, when we return, we'll continue more sports talk in the locker room with Billy Schweim and Scotty McKay. You're listening to the locker room with Billy Schweim on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN mobile app. All right, we're back here in the locker room, 10:18, moving right along. A sunny Saturday.
Perfect song right there, leading in. I got a lump in my throat. I'm sure you do.
I got
Probably
squirrels
shot
in my
glass.
throat. I lost my voice during the broadcast last night.
You haven't had it back for a while.
Yeah, I got to go to the doctor. Something's going on. Can you imagine me losing my voice? I'm
That
on the
would be-
radio.
That would
I'm
be a
sitting there
blessing.
I'm sitting on a broadcast yelling you guys here. Will someone get Schweim a water?
Yeah, right. I know. I know.
I think it's.
I had two major concerns with the broadcast last night, which, by the way, the broadcast I thought went very well.
Thank
I
you.
thought that you guys did a
we
great
had a lot
job.
of
But
fun.
I had 2 concerns. One, I already start hearing Schwann's voice going, and I'm thinking, nobody is getting this guy a water. Like, I don't know, 'cause I'm not there.
We had
I'm
two
not-
adult
we had
beverages
liquids.
right there.
It don't doesn't matter. That
That's supposed to be
probably
water.
cuts your throat up more than it helps. Actually, when you think about it.
That's because he gave it to me. Scooter gave it to
Yeah,
me.
it wasn't me.
And then the second thing was when you guys were on the army truck driving, there was a point where the signal blipped. Like you cut out for like a second on the connection. And I remember getting on my I'm like, will you guys be careful? Because I can only imagine like there's probably someone next to the truck like carrying the cord.
No,
that
we-
you guys
no,
are
you know
plugged
what's-
we
into.
were all up inside.
Listen,
the
they
truck.
threw everything up in the truck. The generators, the speakers, everything was up in the truck. And the thing is, it was kind of the wheels were kind of spinning a little bit.
Well, what
And
happened?
you were bucking.
Well, yeah, that's what. As they were going up to the hill to climb up to get off the beach, they hit the brakes, and I don't think they're like normal brakes. They're like air brakes,
Right.
you know, like and the whole truck just jerked and
Yeah,
stopped.
they're compression brakes.
Right, and everything slid forward at one point. We were almost like, whoa, thank God there was something in front of us to stop us from going out of the truck. We did lose a speaker at one point, but we got it. So.
Well, Bruce Donahue was in charge of watching the speakers, and the first thing that
was a mistake.
Who was with us last night?
Noelle.
Noelle. She, by the way, those girls did a
great
fabulous
job.
job.
Brienne, yeah.
They did a great job. The first thing she said to Bruce was, "Make sure you watch the speakers." Truck takes off.
He watched it go right out the door.
Yeah, Noelle was with us as well at the Ocean City broadcast for Vinnie Curry. So.
Oh, was she really?
Yeah.
They did a fabulous job last night.
They did.
And it was a lot of fun. I mean, Margate really rolled out. Dan, I want to thank Dan Adams. We'll get into that during the
I got to give you credit too, Josh. I mean, you know that board, that mobile board, because he goes,
Turnbull's up.
Put him at 11:30. Put him at 3 o'clock. Put him at 1:15. And I'm like, oh, and it worked out. You could just even tell from listening in our headsets that you could hear that everything was perfect at one point. I'm like, why is everybody? Well, you got him screaming. So
that's how we turned Billy down.
Go to 11. Yeah.
But his headset.
I was like, but I couldn't hear. See, because my hearing's going.
Well, that's why we turned your headset up.
Okay.
Right.
So he did a great job.
Scott's headset was on like 12 o'clock, I think, or 1 o'clock, and I had Bill. You said at 5.
Yeah. Well, I was shot by the top of the second hour.
Lifeguard Championships next Friday here on 97.3 ESPN.
Yeah. Cover the races from live from Longport, New Jersey, and we'll get into that Longport one again.
Yeah.
Even it was a close. No one's going to beat Longport. They got Joey Tepper, who's a shoo-in
for 5 points.
For 5 points every single race. I mean, there's no one going to catch him.
I'm surprised.
It's not like, Josh, it's not like these races are close. The kid's getting out of the water like 45 seconds to a minute faster than anybody else. And he's standing there waiting.
Yeah, it's kind of almost like unfair.
It's almost like unfair.
Yeah, that's how good he is.
But that's what makes him impressive.
He's such a I don't want to say he's a quiet kid because he could be a very loud kid with his friends. Who knows? But you look at him and he's just like, I swam my butt off.
I'm a swimmer.
And
by the way, we'll have the interviews.
I didn't see anybody.
He's soft-spoken.
He's really a good kid.
He's a great kid. Soft-spoken, unassuming. Like you look at him, you wouldn't think that he's blowing those people out of the water like the way he is.
By the way, if anybody missed anything, we will have those interviews in the next hour.
Yeah.
Thanks, Josh.
You know what else was impressive last night, though?
What?
I don't know if you guys got a chance to see it. You know who was the #1 top player on MLB Network last night?
Oh.
Vince Velasquez throwing the guy out at home. Vince Velasquez had a diving catch, almost threw 2 guys out of home last night.
Yeah.
You know, when we have Brett Myers on next, you got to ask him, is Vince Velasquez one of the most athletic pitchers he's ever seen? Because Velasquez was acting like a real outfielder last night.
Well, they've had a few pitchers in the outfield this year.
Yeah,
they've had a few position players pitch this year.
Roman Quinn had pitched 2 innings last night, allowed 1 run in 2 innings.
Yeah.
All right, so you were getting ready to tell me a Chiefs story. I want to hear it. Can you remember? Or you forget already?
Oh, okay. So every year
because he was in town. I sent you the picture, right, Josh?
Yeah.
Every year for 21 years, I had an Oktoberfest at my house. Billy, you attended a lot of them.
That's great.
And so I was doing business with the company Subaru of America at one point, and there was a guy there was a big hockey fan, huge hockey fan, and he was the kind of guy like he was afraid to. If I said, "Hey, listen, I got tickets to the game tonight. Let's go over." He's like, "Nah, I can't." And I'm thinking, all right, maybe you just can't go tonight. I asked him like 9 times. He's like, "Nah." I said, "What's up, man? What's up, Bill? How come you don't want to go?" "Well, I don't want to mix business. Then you're going to expect more to get more business out of me if you take." I said, "No, I'm not going to expect. Hey, you seem like a good guy. You like hockey. I got connections and I've got tickets. Let's go over to the game." He finally broke down and we went and became friendly. And actually, we ended up coaching together. And sadly, he passed away years ago, and I coached his son through high school. And that. And but I knew he was such a big hockey fan. I said, "Come to the party. There's going to be
all the guys.
Mark Howe, Brad
right,
McCrimmon, Brian Propp, Timmy Kerr, Craig
Scooter
Ruby, Rick
Mellon,
Tuckett, Scott Mellon, all these guys. They always come to the party. So
Samuelson.
I said, "Come and you meet all these guys." So he comes. So I said to Chief, I pulled him aside. I said, "Do me a favor. Take your teeth out and go over to that guy standing in the kitchen over there and say to him, if you don't give my buddy Scotty more business,
I'm gonna
you
kill.
and I are going to have a big problem today, right? And he's like, oh, I can't do that. I can't. And that's where Chief is the good guy.
Right.
He wouldn't do that because he doesn't know the guy. He doesn't want to intimidate the guy, even though he tried to intimidate everybody on the ice every night.
Right.
I said, Chief, I'm telling you what, after he cries and he has a little poo-poo in his pants, I said, he'll laugh. He'll think it's funny, you know.
Right, how could you not?
So fine, I convinced him to do it, and he did not want to do it, but he went over, and I still could picture Bill sitting in the corner of my catcher, standing corner, and he pulls his teeth. I goes, "You'll give my buddy more work." He says, "Let me tell you what, you and I are going to have a big problem
and there was
today."
about 7 F-bombs in there too, right?
Well, yeah, I can't say it the way he said it, but and the look on Bill's face was outstanding. You know, he was scared to death. He didn't know what to do, and then I just lost it and started laughing. He looked over at me. He goes, I can't say that either. You SOB.
Right.
And he's like, and we became very good friends from that. Ended up, like I said, coaching together. But it was great. It worked perfect, and I think it broke that wall down of Bill saying, "Hey, you are a good guy, and we're going to do business no matter what, but we can have fun too."
So Chief helped you solidify the deal.
I got 2 more.
So Chief got his one and only assist in his life.
That's right. It didn't hit him in the head.
So Chief, he's a unique character, and he bet me. By the way, he's really down. He doesn't think the Eagles. I bet him $50 that the Eagles, and he goes $50. Schweiner. I said, Chief, I don't have your kind of money. He just inked a 3-year deal for about. I think he said about four a year.
Wow.
He wouldn't get specific with me, but yeah. And he goes, "Oh, the Eagles stink. They're not going to make it." He bet me $50 that the Eagles will not make the playoffs.
Wow.
I said, "What are you talking about?"
Right. That's
I said, "Not only going to make the playoffs, they're going to win the division."
he hasn't gotten much smarter, has he?
He got hit in the head with too many hockey pucks. All right. First hour of the locker room is sponsored by Barb's Harley. I feel like today in the locker room here, I feel like it's like after the storm, like last night was such a whirlwind for us. I feel like
It's not easy to do those live remotes
I was exhausted afterwards.
because there's so much going on. I mean,
Right.
there's people running in front of you. There's a lot of people taking pictures last night.
Oh, my gosh.
We were in this 5-ton, a 10,000-pound army truck last night, which is great. And it was and they actually took us off the beach, which was really fun. I have a video of it.
So
It's
I'm
pretty
like,
cool.
I mean, I know we went out and had a couple cocktails afterwards, but I just feel exhausted right now.
Well, it's because you didn't finish with the cocktails.
All right. First out of the locker room is sponsored by Barb's Harley Davidson. Philly's close to New Jersey's #1 dealership. Visit BarbsHD.com today. It's the area's #1 seller of new and used Harley Davidsons around. That's Barb's Harley Davidson, where no one walks. Go to BarbsHD.com today. Hey, Ocean City's real estate market is red hot, and you need an agent that has the knowledge and expertise to help. Contact Ocean City's top agent, Mark Grimes. Mark has been selling real estate for 30 years in South Jersey. He can answer all your real estate questions and find you the perfect property. He's available anytime on his cell at 609-425-2042. When Philadelphia star athletes are looking for a house at the beach, they contact Mark Grimes, specializing in buying and selling vacation homes, single-family homes, condominiums, and duplexes, residential and commercial, as well as new construction projects or investment opportunities. Mark Grimes, he's your agent at the beach. Give him a call right now, 609-425-2042. Or check out the website at grimes.com. All right, we're listening to Brett Myers, Baptized in Gasoline.
That's a good. That's
Dude, he's
catchy tune,
a
man.
rocker,
I
man.
like it.
Josh is trying to get him on the line right now. He said he might not. He said he didn't know if he was going to be able to. He was going to be out all night last night, so I don't know
With that.
I guess he's not answering.
Oh boy.
Well, I did preface it by saying he did say if he was able to answer the phone, he would. I'll text him here.
Is this him
But
singing?
listen to this song. Here's what he said to me last night. I said, hey, Brett, are you able to come on the show, do a couple of minutes with me? And he says, depends on how inebriated I get tonight. And he said, LOL. And I said, that's right. I said, he's going to be at the game all night, and then he's going to be hanging with his buddy, with the guys.
The boys.
And then I said, I'll have my producer call you at 10:30 if you're able to do it. He said, okay. And then he said 10:04. And then he said he already had started drinking, so
No.
and that was at 4 in the afternoon
Oh,
yesterday.
Oh, well, he should be recovered by now. Come on, man. These guys are veterans or pros.
Yeah, but I think he's a country singer, and he's hardcore.
I like the tune, man. I really do.
Put it
I'm
back
just
on,
saying.
Josh. Let's rock and roll a little bit. He's pretty good, man. It's like southern rock.
Yeah, kind of like a.
Running on 100 proof. Listen to him. It's in his lyrics.
Well, 100 proof is not a lot.
What?
100 proof is 50% vodka, or 50% alcohol.
I feel like I was drinking 100 proof last night.
Yeah, it's 50%.
That's it?
Yeah, 151 is 75.5% alcohol. Grain alcohol.
Josh, keep trying to keep pestering him. We'll get him. He was hanging out with Joe Blant last night. I know that.
Really?
Yeah.
That's probably pretty fun. Group
Joe,
to
I think he and Joe, when they get together, I think it's just nonstop.
It's funny. I tell my hockey kids all the time. Enjoy these days in high school, because what's going to happen is the bonds that you build here today, you'll be at your 20th year high school reunion, and 15 of you will be standing over there in the corner hanging out together.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And because of the bonds that you build today. And that's something even same for pro guys, They still, these friendships and these get-togethers.
Well, especially when you win, Scooter.
Well, that helps.
I mean, listen. Look, I still have a relationship with the guys that I played high school football with and college football with. We still keep in touch with all. Matter of fact, Josh, we're going to be getting Paul Johnson this year, former head coach of the Georgia Tech. He was also the Navy coach for a bunch of years, and he just stepped down at Georgia Tech. And I spoke with one of the guys that I played football with, who's good friends with him, and he's going to come on. I just once the football season starts, we'll get him on. But you're right about that, Scooter. The bonds you make, it seems like winning solidifies that more, though.
Wow.
It does.
It certainly helps.
Remember when Fred Shearer say, "Walk together, win tonight, walk together forever"?
Yeah.
Why?
Those guys are still together.
Those guys are still together. I mean,
well, they're hanging on because the Flyers haven't won the Stanley Cup since then.
Look at Bobby Clark to this day. Can go anywhere he wants, and he's like forever.
Still a legend.
Still, like, he could walk on water.
But those guys still hang together. They still get together. The Brad Marsh is now the president of the Flyers Alumni Association. He does a great job at creating and developing events that keep these guys together. Bobby Kelly and Joe Watson, and
they all still live in the area.
They all still live in the area, and they get together as often as they can. They have a big golf tournament every summer, and
they just had it, right?
Yeah, not too long ago. So it's.
Did you play that?
No.
No, you didn't go.
It's
You've been playing a lot of golf this year, though.
I've been getting out a lot of. I play a lot of tournaments.
You do it? You ever work?
Of course I do. Of course I do.
Work. It's the middle of the summer. What cocky team is he coaching?
That's right. Well, I do.
That's not his only job, though, Josh. Although you think about it, every time I talk to him, he's on a golf course.
I feel like every time we hear from Scott over here, I had to go with my team here. Oh, I had to coach this guy. Let me tell you about this kid I had to coach.
Yeah.
Oh, let me tell you about the game we went to last night.
It's a year-round thing now.
So let me ask you a question. All right, so let me ask you a question. Why is it that teams that win stay together more? It seems like they have a better bond than teams that just compete.
Wow.
Like when you win a championship, it's obviously very special, and those relationships seem to be stronger than if you just went 5 and 4.
I'm going to tell you why. I just figured
Please
it out.
enlighten me, will you?
Well, that's not hard to do. So what happens is, I think sports a lot of times are a lot of individuals. Okay? Even the team sports. There are a lot of people are individuals. They want to be the best they can be. They want to succeed.
Right.
But it never all comes together until the actual team wins. It really doesn't come together. The fact that all your individual talents and all the accomplishments that you had as an individual, it doesn't all fall into place until that whole unit wins. And when that whole unit wins, you remember everybody. Listen,
because you remember everybody for their contributions. See, I think it's a little different. I think that when you win, then you look back on the season you have, then you start to remember all the other things that went into winning.
Exactly.
Right?
That's exactly what I was
like
saying.
the locker room, going out, just the bond that you create with striving for one goal.
Well, all the stuff that's taught throughout the year, and
Look
you
at the
learn.
look at the 09 team. The Philly. We're going to talk to Brett Myers with this. I don't know if we're going to be able to get him now, but we'll keep trying. The 09 team doesn't have the same bond as the 08 team. Half the guys, there's a lot of guys that aren't even showing up to this. Cliff Lee,
Yeah.
right?
Well, you're right,
Do you know what I'm saying?
but they were winners. You know,
They
didn't win-
they
didn't
lost
win the
they
World-
lost the Yankees in the World Series.
Right, but they were still winners.
Absolutely.
Whenever you lose a championship, you're still a winner. But you're right; they might not have the same bond as the 08 team because that pulls everybody's individual talents, pulls it together for one common goal, and then they all remember that. Like I said, most of my championships that I've won as a coach, I'll never forget one. It was we could have lost a game. Their best player, who was a AAA kid, who played their coach made a mistake. He played him every other shift, power play, penalty kill. He was
Right.
out there all the time. He couldn't. He at the end of the third period, he didn't have much left, and one of our defensemen, a freshman defenseman, made a mistake at the blue line. This kid picked the puck up, and I thought, there's 10 seconds left in the game. It was tied 4-4. They're going to win the game with less than 3 seconds left in this game. But the kid was so out of gas.
He was
that
gassed.
He kind of stumbled a little bit with the puck.
Right.
And our goalie actually came out and made a poke check and put it in the corner. Went into overtime, and one of our defensemen, who had a pretty good season because we had a big conversation about, the effort, stuff like that. He goes in, and we're like, of course, we're on the bench screaming, defenseman, don't go down low with the puck. Where you go? He goes down low, throws the puck out the middle, and our guy scores and wins the game in overtime. And it was probably one of my favorite championship wins. But that team still, they hang together because of that.
All right, so here's another question I pose to you because you see this often. When players retire, especially after a long, successful career, most of them get choked up.
Yeah.
What are they crying about? What do you think? What do you think is the number one reason why they get welled up and overcome with emotion?
I mean, talking about
Yeah.
that time. Wow. I think because of all the work you put in to make that happen.
So I think it's the camaraderie that they're going to be missing.
Oh, there's no doubt they missed the camaraderie. No doubt.
I think it's everything. I don't think the actual competing in the game so much as all the other ancillary stuff that surrounds being involved on a team.
Well,
You don't get that when a golfer retires. He doesn't cry, does he? Because he's out there by himself. Same with a tennis player.
Did golfers ever retire?
Today, right? No, well,
They had to go to
they
the
just
senior
fade,
tour,
right? And then they
and
just
they
fade
keep
away.
going.
They just fade away.
Right.
How about tennis players? You ever see a tennis player cry at a?
Yeah.
Have you?
Sure.
Yeah.
Have you seen a tennis player?
Absolutely.
All right. So how about a race car driver? Seen a race car driver cry?
I'm
No.
sure. I'm sure they have.
I'm not seeing a race
When they get
car
the milk
driver.
in their eyes, that'll make you cry.
No, think about it. Why do guys when they say goodbye to a team sport, they get choked up? I think it's because they know that part of their life is over.
Yeah.
They'll never be able to recapture it.
Well, remember,
Guys have said that. Guys have said that the big thing that's emotional for them leaving a sport is letting go of something they dedicated so much of their life to.
Right.
You know,
Right.
every waking hour for
But I think it's also
20, 30, almost 40 years of your life.
But Josh,
you're
I think
training
it's
for one
doing it
thing.
with someone else, having the common goal and achieving that goal. I think the
I think
strife.
there's an element to that, but I think that most guys will admit the overarching thing emotionally is you and so much of yourself is invested in doing something.
Right.
Whether you're doing it with said teammate or not, that's kind of like the next tier under that. And by the way, for individual athletes, they have coaches, they have workout
Yeah,
partners too.
but it's not the same.
Yeah, that's unfair.
Is it?
I think that there's a lot of guys who would say that their coach or their workout partners have the same level of teammate affinity for them as a professional athlete.
Wow.
Who
So let
plays
me
for a team.
all right. Let me ask you, as a coach, do you have the same? Do you have that same emotion invested in it as a
Oh.
coach?
dude,
Well,
you should come to one of my banquets. I mean, I have to speak about.
No, because you touch as a coach, you touch the players in a different way than if you were a teammate.
I try not to touch any of them. Because you can't do that.
No, we should have rephrased that.
There's a certification we have to
I
go
think
through.
this is
Well, I
the point.
mean-
This is the point we should go to break and come back and reset here.
What a dope.
It's called. We have to go through a certification called Safe Sport. You can't touch any of the kids. But no, you're right. Listen, you should come to one of my I'll invite you to one of our banquets one time. I get emotional because, like Josh just said, and
Are you
I
gonna
was
cry,
trying to say
Scooter?
earlier. Oh, I've teared up and. Well, listen, I've lost 5 players too.
Right.
I actually now 6.
You mean people
Lost
that died?
that have died.
Yeah.
And you know, I started an alumni game in memory of a kid, Jeff Bird, who I coached back in. He died in 2004. He was a junior with our club, and he got meningitis, and he died overnight. And when I talk about him, I get choked up.
Right.
I just can't. I gotta look away, and I can't help it. It's something
Right.
inside of me. So it's tough. So.
Well, I tell you
It's
what,
emotional
that's-
tie-in.
I think sports, and you know what? I think sports facilitates all those emotions. That's what's so great about sports.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
playing
love it
them.
when a guy gets choked up.
I look. Remember Dick? We even spoke to Dick Vermeil, right, Josh?
There we go.
And he said, "You are who you are."
He cried,
He
didn't he?
cries all the time.
Right.
He's not
Well,
apologizing for it.
because you put your heart and soul into something
everything.
for so long, and the amount of hours that people don't see. I mean, you see Dick Vermeil. Used to see him on Sundays,
Right.
for 3 hours,
Right.
So you're thinking 3 hours a day, one day a week? No, he put in millions of hours to do what he did.
All right. Hey, the first hour of the locker room is sponsored by Barb's Harley Davidson, Philly's closest to New Jersey's #1 Harley Davidson dealership. Visit barbshd.com today. It's the area's #1 seller of new and used Harley Davidsons around. That's Barb's Harley Davidson, where no one walks. Go to barbshd.com today, and of course, I know Barb real well. She's a great American. She does a lot for the policemen, the firemen, veterans, the military, active and retired. She's unbelievable. She gives back to the community. Go down there and talk to Barb. Say hi. Tell her Billy Schweim sent you from the locker room. And by the way, it's that time of year. It's time for the Joe Namath Foundation Legends of Golf Tournament at the Bethpage State Park in Farmingdale, New York, on Wednesday and Thursday, September 11th and 12th. Joe's been a champion on and off the field, supporting children's charities. Come join Joe and other sports legends at the Broadway Joe's All-Star Jam Party on Wednesday, September 11th at 6 p.m. at the Long Island Marriott. Then tee off at 10 a.m. on Thursday, September 12th. A variety of sponsorship packages are available. Individual, group, corporate golfers are all welcome. For more information, go to info@joenamath.org. info@joenamath.org. Hey, Atlantic City, the Atlantic City Bar and Grill is simply the place to be. The food's great. The atmosphere is awesome. Serving steak, seafood, spirits, and sports in Atlantic City for over 25 years. It's the place to be. The Atlantic City Institution is located at the corner of Pacific and South Carolina Avenues and has plenty of convenient free parking. Check out all their sports and celebrity memorabilia that line the walls as you watch the game at this South Jersey Throwback Bar and Grill. Mention the locker room and get 99-cent draft beers with your order of famous wings or mussels. For more information, go to acbarandgrill.com or call them at 609-348-8080. That's the AC Bar and Grill. All right, when we return, we'll continue with the locker room with Billy Schweim on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN mobile app. All right, we're back here in the locker room. 10:53, moving right along. I guess Brett Myers was out all night. Maybe he did an impromptu performance, doing his baptized in gasoline.
I've heard stories of Brett, because he lives down south, and in Florida, he was not supposed to be doing a concert one night, and someone kind of just handed him a guitar, and he starts. It was like about 2 years ago.
Have you been listening to some of his music?
Oh, I listen to all of his music.
It's pretty good, isn't it?
I have all of his albums. saved
So
on
listen,
Spotify.
you really.
Mhm.
So all right, so Josh, critique it because I haven't listened to all of it. I just listened to a couple songs.
So the thing with Brett is he fashions himself as kind of like a new age country singer,
And I like it.
but it's like Scott said earlier, it's more like a country
Southern
rock,
Well, Southern rock.
Yeah,
you know, and it's
like in Alabama.
Yeah, yeah,
it's a fun style
Leonard
of
Skinner,
music.
Leonard Skinner type stuff.
I wouldn't say Leonard Skinner. I would say it's more like it's more like a blend of Toby Keith
Really?
Because Toby Keith is more like a new age country singer, but blend that with a more classic sound of. See, I don't think Leonard Skinner is a little bit too basic for his sound. I would say a little more. I'm trying to think of a better version. I mean,
I'm not a big country guy, but I like Brett Meyer's music.
I would actually say it's closer to Zach Brown Band. Actually,
Okay.
because Zach Brown implements a lot of rock in his style, so I think Brett does that, but he does it with a much more. He's less trendy and he's more bold with his sound.
Yeah, his lyrics are pretty.
And they're not bold in terms of like cursing. They're bold in
No.
terms of he's just very
Talks about stuff.
upfront.
Yeah.
He talks about going out and drinking. He talks about America. He talks about the Southern lifestyle.
Yes.
He talks about what it's like to travel across the country. The one song where he talked about stopping by the old country store.
Yeah.
Where they have all the things you need. It's just stuff like that. It's a lot of fun. I'm not a huge country music person myself.
I'm not either, but he's got a great sound in it.
But it's fun and
Yeah.
it's bold. I
It's fun.
appreciate
You know what? That's a good way to put it. It's fun music.
Yeah.
It's upbeat tempo. It's talking about positive stuff.
If anybody has like Apple Music or Spotify, just throw his albums into your rotation. Just like check them out because you will have fun. You will enjoy yourself. Whether you're a country person, whether you're a rock person, you'll like it. And especially if you have any like interest in like drinking, bonfires,
Right.
4th of July parties,
Hoedowns.
Anything like that. That's the kind of music. Like if I'm at a bonfire or if I'm at like an old school, just a fun party.
Yeah.
Where everybody's drinking and having a good time or on a barbecue. That's the kind of music you want to pop on.
And we're having a good time today, Scooter. It's like the coming down. I feel like just like deflated a little bit.
Yeah, after last night.
After last night, I was wiped out, man.
Yeah, that's a big event and it's a lot of fun.
Still worried about your voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna have to go to the doctors.
You
I
should.
don't know what's going on here with my voice.
Proctologist.
though.
See if you can help you out. Something stuck in there. Fry or something.
ENT doctor. That's what I recommend. You need to see the ENT doctor.
We got to talk about the Addams family too.
All right. Yeah. Okay. All right. First hour's in the books. Next hour we have the Beach Patrol report. We'll talk to Chris Graves. We'll recap the races last night, the Margate Memorials. Stay tuned. You're listening to Locker Room with Billy Schweim on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN mobile app. All right, we're back here in the locker room with Billy Schweim on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN mobile app. Hey, I've got Tim. He's one of my a former student of mine, and he's in here. He's working on my YouTube channel, The Locker Room with Billy Schweim. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. All the interviews that we do, and we'll record our show today and other shows.
Full broadcast of the Margate Memorials from last night.
Yeah, we'll have
will
that
be on your YouTube channel.
on the YouTube channel, The Locker Room with Billy Schweim. Subscribe to that. Scooter, you got your own YouTube channel, Scooter?
No.
Scott has no time for YouTube.
Yeah.
Scott's too busy, coaching hockey and drinking with you.
You're right. And carrying you.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I carried you on the ice for how many years?
Oh, wait. Oh.
You know how he scored half his goals? Is Josh? I would shoot the puck at the net. It would hit him in the head and go in or hit him off his rear end.
No, you would,
and that's how you get credit for the goal, but you had nothing to do with
you
it.
would shoot, miss the net. It would bank off the boards right to my stick, and I'd score.
And not only that, you'd never go into the corners.
Oh, come
As
on.
big as you are, you think you'd go into the corners and dig it out. Never went into a corner.
Timmy Kerr didn't go in the corners. He stood in front of the net and scored goals. That's what I did.
He got half his.
I had you to go in the corners.
That's right. I wasn't afraid of the corners.
Really?
I go in and get it.
You think?
Dig it out.
No.
I have more helpers than you did on a consistent basis.
Listen, I still have stats
Yeah,
of our
Billy's
league.
over here trying to act like he's like Mark Recchi or something.
Oh, yeah.
Come on.
He was more like.
Here's another Chief story now that we're talking about hockey. So I used to fly to, worked at U.S. Airways for many years, and, obviously you could fly for free. And I'd go to the games. Chief would leave tickets for me or Proper. Actually, Chief would forget me,
Right.
and then I'd have to call Prop,
Proper
and
remember.
he'd remember or
Right.
talk. But Chief called me Schweitzer, Schwantz. He could never get my name right.
You have like 10 different IDs when you go to pick up tickets because you never knew what name he was going to leave.
So I think they were playing in Chicago on a Wednesday night and then Detroit on a Thursday night. And I flew out to Detroit, and he left his room key at the desk, so that when I got there, all I had to do was go to the desk and say, key for Bill Schweim, Schweitzer, whatever he put down.
Right.
And then I would go upstairs, put my bag in the room, and then cruise around, go to the game or whatever. I don't know what time I got there. Maybe they usually guys take a nap between 1 and 4.
Yep.
And then they get up and then they go to the rink. So I get to the hotel, get my key, go to the elevator, hit the door, and the elevator door's open, and there's Chief, eyes black and blue, knuckles bloody red, and he said, "Schweiner, not a blanking word." Like looked at me like he was gonna kill me. Not a.
He was never happy when he lost a fight.
Well, I was gonna ask him.
Right.
But look, his knuckles were like, it looked like he dragged them across the cement.
Well, he probably does. He walks a little bit like an orangutan. I have a picture of Chief after the Lyndon Byers fight, and he said to me, "If you ever
Show anybody that
show
picture.
that to anybody, I'll kill you." I mean, he was not.
And he
happy.
would.
And Lyndon Byers was a tough guy, but yeah, he did not like to lose, and that's a great quality, the Chief, and that's why he's.
Well, I'm not even suggesting that he lost the fight. I mean,
Oh, if his eyes are all black.
does it really mean he lost the fight?
Maybe. He got hit a few times, good enough.
Oh, he definitely got hit, but that doesn't mean he lost the fight.
Come on, man. It doesn't matter how many times you get hit. It matters if you make the other guy suffer
That's
more
right.
than you.
Right.
The old
He
saying.
could have said,
the old
"You should see
saying-
the
He
other
looked
guy."
like he lost the fight.
Right, right.
Yeah, well, you always go. Yeah, if you.
But
if
you look
if
worse
walk
the next
out-
day.
Well, no, I was
Yeah.
gonna say is you walk out and someone's like, you should see the other guy.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I said. I just said that. It's like he would have been happy if he won the fight. He wouldn't have said what he said to you. I think he lost the fight.
Oh, he
was
screwed him.
upset.
I mean, he literally, and I think he was caught by surprise seeing me standing right there. He was waiting right in front of the lot.
the last thing he wanted to see was that's for sure.
Schweiner, not a word.
Right.
And then he just walked right by
I'm
me, and
gonna
I don't even think I talked to him the rest of the night.
I'm going to
even
take
after
one quick. I'm going to try to make this a quick story because it's a long story, but this is the difference in the level of professional athletes versus you and I, the regular guys.
Right.
And when you pull a prank on someone, like when I pull a prank on you, it's like you can lose $1.
No, you pulled a couple good ones.
I
on
pulled
me.
a few pranks on you. You didn't lose anything, but sometimes when they
My
get
pride.
monetary wise, the pros they stepped up their game up. At that
Right.
time. So Chief does not like attention. He does not like his face
No,
out there. He does
no.
not like that. He doesn't like any of that. And that's I think he's a good quality, but it shows what a great guy is. He doesn't want to be the center of attention, which is kind of cool. But he goes to a Phillies game, and Keith Jones knows that he does not like this, and knows some people over at the Phillies. So he calls the people. He said, "Listen, put him up on the jumbotron." Okay, put him up on the jumbotron, and I can't tell the story half as good as Keith. We got to get Jonesy on the thing and have him tell the story because it's great. And but anyway, he says, put him up and leave it up there. Don't just show him
Show
and
it,
then go away. Leave it up there. So of course, Chief's sees him up there and he's like, oh, okay. And now he's thinking they're gonna go away and pan to something else. No, they stay on. Wow. He loses it and he knows he's thinking somebody's up to something. I gotta figure out who it is. So what Chief does is then he sets up this whole thing in the parking lot after a game one night. So he has.
Oh, Chief's gonna get
He's
him.
gonna get Jonesy back.
Get Jonesy back.
So what he does was he sends this girl out to the parking lot. Now most of the people have left for the night. There's only whatever, a couple hundred cars left in the parking lot, and this girl's over by her car, and she's kind of and it's near Jonesy's car, and she's kind of whimpering, "Oh my God, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do?" And Jonesy's like, "What's wrong? Can I help you, ma'am?" She's, "Well, my babysitter has to leave. My baby's at home, and she has to go now, and I gotta get home, and I locked my keys in my car." And he's like, "Oh, you're kidding me?" He goes, "Well, let me see what I can do." He goes, "Yeah, they're over there on the seat, and I can't get in. How am I gonna do this? My baby's gonna be home by herself because the babysitter has to leave right away." So she's like, "Oh, well, I don't know what to do. Let me see if I can try. No, I can't get." So he goes, let me go over there. He finds this boulder, grabs it. She goes, "Just break the window because I just got to get home. I got to get home."
Whose car was it?
It was
Her car.
Well, that's what Jonesy figures. It's her car, right?
Right.
So he goes and grabs this thing, and she goes, "Well, it's going to cost me $100 for the window. Big deal. I'll get in my car. I'll get my keys, and I'll be able to go home." Jonesy breaks the window. And then, and he's kind of "Oh my God," he's pushing the glass away. He turns around. He's like, "Where's the girl?" She's halfway across the parking lot now. She goes, "Oh, I made a mistake. That wasn't my car."
What was it?
Wait, but did Chief have to pay a lot of money for this? to get the girl to do it?
Jonesy had to pay
'Cause
the money. We were
No,
breaking
but I
the
mean,
window.
how did he talk? How did
I
Chief?
know, I
First of all,
know.
how did Chief
Think of
explain
that?
to somebody to do that?
He must have read it somewhere.
Because he doesn't have the
He couldn't
patience
made
for
it.
that, does he?
But Jonesy broke the person. And then he had to wait for the person who owned that car to come
Oh,
out and
my
explain to him, "Oh, listen, I broke your window because the lady
Keith
said there's
Jones.
one lady." Yeah, right. So he really. That's where I said it becomes an expensive thing with those guys when they pull pranks, But pretty funny get back on.
Wow, man.
Yeah. So. But,
Well, first of all, I'm kind of miffed at the fact that Chief actually could explain that to somebody.
Well, no.
In detail
the
to
story,
get her-
I heard the story from Jonesy, and
Because he doesn't have the
it's one of
patience
the
for that.
funniest stories I've ever heard, and because he just sets it up well.
Scooter, what about when you and my brother went down to Washington to talk about sports trips? Mike Gill's been talking about sports. We'll get to it when we get back. Mike Gill and the guys have been talking about famous, great
Trips that
sports
you took?
trips. Yeah, that you took, and you and Bob. When we get back,
All right.
you got to tell that
That's
one.
a great
That's a
story.
great story because that's pretty funny. All right, the second hour of the Locker Room was brought to you by the Great Bay Country Club, where it's not just golf; it's fun. Make Great Bay Country Club your club. Great Bay is an award-winning private golf club where you are greeted by name. It's home of the 3-hour and 58-minute round. You can play on their 18-hole championship golf course, enjoy fine dining, or experience lively atmosphere in the pub. There's a full calendar of golf and social events throughout the season to appeal to everyone. For more information, go to greatbay.com or call them at 609-927-5071. Great Bay Country Club at Summers Point. See why it's always a great day at Great Bay. And, of course, I told Chief when he comes down, we'll take him over to Great Bay. Scooter, we'll go out on a foursome.
Alrighty.
We'll play some golf and go down there and say hello to Radio Ron Ralston. Hey, are you guys, if you want to get your day started off right at the Jersey Shore, look no further than Uncle Bill's Pancake House. Family owned and operated since 1962, Uncle Bill's Pancake House is a Jersey Shore tradition with 8 locations from Ocean City to Cape May, featuring 30 types of pancakes, waffles, crepes. Uncle Bill's has something for everyone. Stop at one of their 2 Ocean City locations and try my favorite, the stuffed French toast with homemade cinnamon butter. There's something for everyone, from fresh cut fruit cup, gluten-free pancakes, fluffy stuffed omelets that are excellent. You can't go wrong with anything on the menu. Go to Uncle Bill's Pancake House, 8 locations along the Jersey Shore, 2 in Ocean City. I guarantee you'll have a great breakfast and fantastic service with a smile. I want to remind people that it's that time of year again. Joe Namath Foundation Legends of Golf Tournament will be held at the Bethpage State Park in Farmingdale, New York on Wednesday and Thursday, September 11th and 12th. Joe has been a champion on and off the field supporting children's charities. Come join Joe and other sports legends at the Broadway Joe's All-Star Jam Party on Wednesday, September 11th at 6 p.m. at the Long Island Marriott. Then tee off the next day at 10 a.m., Thursday, September 12th. A variety of sponsorship packages are available. Individual, group, and corporate golfers are all welcome. For more information, go to info@joenamath.org for more information. All right, when we return, we'll continue here in the Locker Room with 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN mobile app. Some of the sounds of the Margate Memorials, the sounds of a great night last night in Margate. Mike Sincata, Greg Smallwood, Dan Adams, the whole crew. Just an outstanding night for racing. They put a great event, and I want to thank them again publicly for giving us such great access.
Allowing us to do what we
Unbelievable.
do, yeah.
Unbelievable.
And they appreciate, I think, the fact that we're giving them, these guards, credit for all the work that they do to go into these races. But before we do anything,
Let me bring in the old salt.
Hold on one second. I'm going to give a shout out to Greg Brown.
Oh, yeah.
Who was an Ocean City lifeguard for a long time, who is a good friend, and he's at Jefferson right now, and he's starting his second treatment of chemo. After having non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, which is Mario Lemieux had,
Right.
and is recovered from fully and fine. So, Brownie, we wish you the best, buddy.
Keep fighting the fight, man.
Yeah, and we just wanted to give you a shout out today to give you our best wishes, man.
Well done, Scooter. All right, let's bring in the old salt, John McShane. What's up, John?
Absolutely.
Ex-guard, he was always attending all these events. Brownie's a great guy.
Yeah, he's a great guy. He's a fireman too. So we're just
Pulling
giving
for him.
thoughts and prayers, man.
John McShane, what are your thoughts about last night's races?
I thought that as a whole, it was one of the better nights that I've seen in a while because the competition was so wide open. Yes, we had Graves and Gowdy pull out the wins in the doubles, followed by Longport, but you had teams like Seattle scoring. You had teams like Avalon, Stone Harbor scoring in the singles on the brigantine winner, which you mentioned about Ron. Ron has been around for a while. But you had a lot of, let's say, teams you don't mention a lot in the mix in scoring points for their patrols. And but it did, of course, come down to the usual Longport, Margate, but Brigantine got in there for third place on the tiebreaker. So I think that bodes well for some of these younger, we'll call them younger squads for next week. That it's been demonstrated that no one has a lock on any position in any race.
Well, I got to tell you, Seattle doubles crew of Danny Rogers and Pat Skinapicio, I guess is that how you say it? They did a great job. They were in the mix. Of course, McGrath and Duffy, always perennial favorites. They're always up there, one, two. But Graves and Gowdy, a lot of talk about this week about maybe them could be their last race. I don't know, after the performance last night. I don't know, man. They didn't look like they lost anything.
I would assume that they're the race Friday night.
Yeah.
I think that's a lock, you guys, right?
Yeah, I would agree with that too.
Not ready to hang it up just yet, yeah. Scott, Billy, we've watched those guys for the last couple of years. When they are at their peak, they do what they were doing last night from about the swim flag in, and where they're rowing away from their competition. Chris mentioned they didn't get off to such a good start, but we watched the whole race. They kept the same stroke rate for the most part. They were long and strong, and as the other people sort of started to fade, they just seemed to get stronger. And they look like the Gowdy and Graves of the past few years, where they just row away from people. They put themselves in a position when that swell came up, and Chuck had a great line. He said, "Oh yeah," he says, "I saw that at the singles flag." That come up, that helped them put it away.
But
That was an oasis at the singles flag.
yeah, right.
Thought he saw the wave coming. Yeah.
Hey, John, though, if you look at it, John, Margate turned the flag first. Cape May was in second, turned the flag second. Seattle City turned the flag third. Longport didn't turn the flag. They were fifth to turn the flag.
Yeah.
So they were actually pulled away from people down a stretch.
It wasn't for that wave. I think Longport wins it.
I think if Graves and Gowdy don't catch that wave,
Scott, you got a good point there, and maybe like next Friday night, because it is, they had Adams alluded that the flags are going to be out there. It's going to be a longer race. I mean, the swim race was only 10 minutes.
I thought the swim was short.
Yeah, seemed like it.
Yeah, and well, it was. The 10 minutes is well below, what the normal races would be, and the singles was just over. The first two guys were in just over 4 minutes.
Yeah, because we pulled away. I went to a commercial break. I was telling Josh in the headset, or before the race started, hey, can we break off? And I thought we could, get a commercial in.
Right.
Commercials are about 3 minutes last night, in the commercial bed, and it was
The
it seemed
race
like
was
they
over
were
before we got to it,
before
yeah.
we got to it. It's like,
But no.
I mean that's live radio.
That's why I think those races need to be consistent with their, you shouldn't, a hometown shouldn't have an advantage of saying, well, I've got a sprinter for a swimmer, so I'm going to shorten the swim race.
Yeah, but
Margates don't do that.
Dan Adams said it in the interview after the post race that he said he liked that. He liked it that each individual race has their own format.
Except for the main ones, because the South Jersey Chiefs Association they're supposed to be a minimum of X and a maximum of Y. So
There's guidelines with about I think Scott in each event there's about a 2-minute swing.
and listen, it's funny. I'll tell from setting those flags for all those years, we used to have markers. We would go out in the boat. We would have a little compass. We would hit, at 39th Street there was a dormer window over the beige house, and
Water tower
Right, and then over the left leg of the water tower, we would go to, and it's funny thing, they started tearing down in houses. And I'm like, where the heck's that dormer window on that house? Well, that house is gone. It's a different house now. So it made it real difficult to be exactly where you wanted to be with those flags at times.
All right, John, listen, I don't know if you want to hang on. We're going to take a break, and then we're going to come back. We're going to be on the phone with Chris Graves, if you want to hang on for that.
When we come back, let me just go over the schedule for next week real quick.
All right. All right, let me. Yeah, we will have time for that. All right, the second hour of the locker room is brought to you by the Great Bay Country Club, where it's not just golf, it's fun. Make Great Bay Country Club your club. Great Bay is an award-winning private golf club where you are greeted by name. It's home of the 3-hour and 58-minute round. You can play on their 18-hole championship golf course, enjoy fine dining experience, lively atmosphere in the pub. There's a full calendar of golf and social events throughout the season to appeal to everyone. For more information, go to greatbay.com or call them at 609-927-5071. Great Bay Country Club in Summers Point, New Jersey. See why it's always a great day, Great Bay. And when you get down there, say hello to radio. Ron Ralston, he's a great guy. Timmy Stover and Kevin Kelly down there starting everybody off. Ocean City's real estate market is red hot, and you need an agent that has the knowledge and expertise to help. Contact Ocean City's top agent, Mark Grimes. Mark has been selling real estate for 30 years in South Jersey. He can answer all your real estate questions and find you the perfect property. He's available anytime on his cell at 609-425-2042. When Philadelphia star athletes are looking for a house at the beach, they contact Mark Grimes, specializing in buying and selling of vacation homes, single-family homes, condominiums, and duplexes, residential and commercial, as well as new construction projects or investment opportunities. Mark Grimes, he's your agent at the beach. Give him a call right now, 609-425-2042, or check out the website at grimes.com. All right, we're back here in the locker room. The Beach Patrol Report with John McShane. And John, you heard Chris Graves. I mean, he's a pro's pro in the boat. John? No, I don't think so.
I'm sure they can't wait till next Friday night. And the town changes. They're going a mile or so down the road to Longport. But basically the beach line and
It's all different.
there are about the same. Well, I think they're the same, but it's Longport's home course. They might have a little bit of advantage as far as the steering goes. Scott referred to the fact that the skyline changes behind you with hounds being torn down and rebuilt.
All right, listen. Let's play the interview we had with Chuck Gowdy. All right, let's bring in the muscle, I guess, with the doubles crew from the Margate doubles crew. Chuck Gowdy and Chuck, congratulations.
Thanks, Bill.
What were you telling me?
Up and down, who knows?
What you're gonna do?
50-50.
Right? It looks like you're going to be rolling for another couple of years.
I think for the last couple of years it's been just day to day, week to week, season to season kind of thing. And I want to stick with that right now. I still love doing this. Rowing in Margate is great. The city's been great to me. Chief Smallwood's been great to me. It's been a real blessing being able to do this.
Chuck, we were talking to Chris and we were talking about the conditions. The conditions aren't anything to speak of. It's flat pretty much. There's no wind, there's no current.
Nah,
this is anybody's race tonight, right?
It takes all the thinking out of it. It's just, pull, go straight, turn the flag, get in. There's really no dealing with, like a sideways chop, kind of shifting your weight, none of that stuff. This was just put the oars in the water, make it feel easy, row smooth, and beat everyone else out there.
You did feel good when you saw that little swell coming up on your stop.
Oh, are you kidding me? I saw that thing at the singles flags. And I'm telling him, if I miss this, because Longport was right there with us. I don't know what it looked like for you guys, but I mean...
They came out of nowhere.
We were watching the guys in the middle. You guys had a commanding lead on those guys. Scotty and I were looking at it like, oh, they're going to get some help.
I was looking at Longport. I'm trying to stay in the boat and stay with Chris and just, worry about us, but, knowing those guys down there, those guys are in phenomenal shape, and they're hitting on all cylinders.
They were coming.
Yeah, so I knew, we were definitely taking any help we can get right there at the end of the race.
Now, Chuck, normally you double up and row singles, not the case tonight.
Nah, I just don't think I have it anymore. You know, just to be quite honest, last year it hurt. You know, and we got some young talent out there. You know, it's got to be a change in the guard. You know, I'm 36, Chris is 37. You know, like, we know we're at the downside of our careers here. So you know, we really want to start getting the young guys out there. We got more than capable guys go out there. So you know, just get them racing, and you know, it's just great for Margate all the way around.
Well, he's part of the conversation.
We just got to see
Okay, I'm just
singles
confused
guy
on
going out for his
how
warm up.
this
He got hit by a wave and he got thrown out of the boat.
It wasn't a Margate guy, right?
Yes, yeah, sure.
So this is obviously next week. Next week is the granddaddy of them all, the South Jersey Championships. Were you worried, like, at the beginning of the year during the Dutch Hoffmans and during the AC Classic, that you weren't where you wanted to be, or?
Well, worried. I don't know if we were worried or not. We knew, you know, that we were in a rebuilding year, kind of, you know, with that, you know, Longport's just, like you said, hitting on all cylinders, and you know, we knew we got to put our best team out there to even compete with those guys. And you know, it's gonna take, you know, all the stars aligning.
All right, so there's that's Chuck Gaddy. Let's play Joey Tupper real quick. He's not even breathing hard. Doesn't even look like he had it. He did it. He looked like he was just laying on the beach. It looked like he was just getting a suntan. Bring up the winner of the Margate Memorial, the 74th annual, the winner of the swim, Joey Tupper. And Joey, congratulations on another victory. You're amazing. You're amazing.
Thank you.
Simply amazing. On the way out, you were on the outside, or did you? Where were you positioned on the way out, Joe?
I was a bit north of everyone.
Okay.
Not too far. I did actually, as opposed to Wildwoods, where I really put space between myself and others, I did kind of swim like right next to everybody this time for the first few strokes, and then I started to pull out.
Joe, at such a young age, you're going to be a senior in high school, and you're already dominating these races. I mean, has it sunk into you that of the success that you've been having? I mean, does it even resonate with you?
I mean, yeah, it does.
Yeah, he looks like he's
Right.
he looks like nonchalant. Like, I just won the Margate.
So recently you finished second, I believe, at the Junior Nationals outdoor.
Yeah,
What do you like better? You like pool swimming or like the open water better?
definitely open water.
Definitely open water. Do you translate better to the open water rather than the pool?
Yeah, I don't know what it is about open water, but I just do so much better compared to other people nationally in open water versus in the
You seem to have a knack for, as Billy was saying, you stay away from people for the most part. You set your course. You're pretty much dictating the pace to these guys. They have no other choice but to try and stay with you and make something happen. But as we have observed, it's very difficult to stay with you, obviously. Don't get a big head or anything. But it's interesting because over the years, you know, we've seen guys who are literally much better swimmers in the open water than they are in a swimming pool. They're good at swimming pool. They're very good, excellent in some cases. But it seems when they hit the open water, as in your case, you know, lights out. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So what are your plans? You're going to be a senior this year?
Yeah, I'm going to be a senior, you know.
All right, so that's Joey Tupper. I want to get to one last one. Ron DeFelice, who won the singles, and we're running kind of short out of time, but I want to make sure we play this guy. Let's play Ron DeFelice. Let's get Ronnie DeFelice from Brigantine up here, and I'll tell you what, Ron DeFelice, he's an experienced rower. He's been around the scene for a few years, and congratulations on winning the Margate. It's been a big win for you, Ron.
It is a big win. I felt close last week in Wildwood when I took second. But to pull it out here in front of my home crowd felt great, you know. So
you've been sniffing around. You've been getting a couple seconds, thirds.
Yeah.
Some of the conditions are a little bit more rough. Why did you do so well today? I mean,
I'm a little bit more of a technical rower, so I think in the flat water I can really
Joe sent me the Eagles clock.
Get some good strokes in. So.
What a great night for racing.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, this is the run up to the South Jerseys.
Yeah.
You got to feel good about yourself.
I feel great. You know, it's a lot of pressure now going into the jerseys, but I feel good. Feel really good to take a win in one of the big three.
You got second, I think, last week, right?
Last week in Wildwood.
You
took
second in last week.
East, yeah.
And that was that was a close race.
Yeah, I think we wound up on the same wave, and he was able to pull it out a little bit ahead of me. So.
You know, Ron. Last week, I believe in the Dutch Hoffmans, the singles rowers all collided with each other.
They did, yeah. They looked like that out there.
I thought the lanes were kind of close today.
They were here. They did. You know, Margate does a nice job. Obviously, they're very well versed.
Yeah, we're so that was Ronnie DeFelice singles. Ro, it was a great night. We had to cut that short because we're kind of running out of time. And Scooter, thank you for a great show last night. John McShane, great night. We're going to do it again next week in Longport for the South Jersey Championships.
Yeah, me too.
All right, John McShane, want to thank Josh. Really appreciate all the effort from last night. Today with the montage, it was excellent. Want to thank Noel and the crew. They did a great job last night. Brianne, they did an awesome job.
Absolutely.
Want to thank all my sponsors, Dan Adams, Mike Sincata, Smallwood. They did a great job. Thank you so much. Thank you for making Locker Room Party your Saturday, because nothing could be finer than talking sports with a Schweiner. See you next week, everybody. Have a great weekend.